Welcome to the Fandom. My name is Natasha.
And I'm Leslie.
And we are here to talk about TVs, movies, and books. Spoiler warning, we're going to talk about the shows and the movies that we've already seen, and we are going to spoil it. So if you haven't seen those shows and you're like, I don't want to be spoiled, then you might want to not watch this. So Valerian, and the City of 1,000 Planets, which was a very long name for a movie, but I saw that movie and the effects were there, the visuals were awesome. Unfortunately, Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevingne, the two main actors on the movie, I just am not sure if those roles fit them very well. There's a certain about characters, especially in graphic novels or in comics and stuff, and they have to have this kind of character to them, I guess, or trait. And I don't know if Dane or Cara actually captured that on film, but unfortunately, I just think that it might have been better suited for somebody else, for other actors. I mean, you don't feel that chemistry like you do, say, Bruce Willis and Mila Jovovich in The Fifth Element, which was Luc Besson's other movie or his probably most popular movie. That you do in this one, and I really wanted that. Unfortunately, it just didn't come out, even though I wish it did, but it didn't. And then the supporting characters were there, but it was like, they were kind of like whatever and stuff. So, yeah, that's unfortunately what I have to say about it. But I gotta say, it's not the worst movie out there. It's not the worst sci-fi movie out there. I've seen worse. I know worse. I am worse. Just kidding. But yeah, I mean, but it is not obviously the best one out there either.
Okay. Spider-Man Homecoming is a pretty great addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think. This one, we have Peter Parker, who just got off a high from battling Captain America in Captain America Civil War. And so he is stoked to be a part of the Avengers, and he's pretty enthusiastic, and he goes through a big transformation in this I don't know. Well, he learns a lot.
Yeah.
He starts off kind of feeling a little cocky. He thinks that he can pretty much do whatever Iron Man can do, I guess, but he learns that he has a lot to learn, really, and he takes his punches and rises to the occasion. And Tom Holland was a really good Spider-Man. I mean,
yeah.
he brought a lot of enthusiasm, and that I think Peter Parker has.
I gotta say though, like, every single time a new Spider-Man comes or a new actor plays Spider-Man, everybody always has gripes about, like, the older one. Like when Tom Holland came, all of a sudden, like, oh, Andrew Garfield was in it. And then when Andrew Garfield came, Tobey Maguire was, like, bad and stuff. I'm like, you know what though? Every single time you say that, but then you really actually enjoy him anyway. So I don't know what this whole thing about this backlash between, like, previous actors, or I'm like, they all play them okay.
Yes.
I mean, they all play okay. I mean better than okay.
I don't have a problem with. I love Tobey Maguire. I loved Andrew Garfield, and I love Tom Holland. So I don't have to pick sides. I'm not choosing one over the other.
Yeah.
But I like them all. So.
I mean, the storylines may be a little off on some of them, but still, it was still good.
And everyone seemed to enjoy the first ones of the series. But I guess, and when you have sequels, a lot of times everyone says the sequel's
right?
bad. So it's like, well, then you reboot the whole series. Let's just start all over again.
I know, right?
And you don't have any more sequels. We'll just have number one. Yeah,
reboots every single time for the first movie. Just a reboot. Spider-Man reboot. We'll see how Homecoming 2 comes out. How Spider-Man Homecoming 2 comes out.
Maybe Marvel will do a better job. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. With it being under Marvel, it should probably, now that, Sony has kind of worked out a deal with Marvel, it seems to be working, and I'm hoping that maybe, like, Fox makes a deal somehow with Marvel regarding their movies. I enjoyed Tom. I liked that Michael Keaton was in it too, because he was a really good villain. But I mean, when you think about it, he wasn't like a villain just to be a villain. I mean, he had a villain with a purpose.
Yeah, there was a reason behind everything he did.
And it was a nice twist with his daughter.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Shocking.
But, I know, right? But I really enjoyed it too because Robert Downey Jr. was in there.
Oh, yeah. So Cars 3 came out in theaters a while back, and in this one, I guess Lightning McQueen is not the young one on the racetrack anymore. They are coming out with so many new technological things that I don't even know if it's legal, but there are these brand new racers that are coming out, and he can't beat them. So he doesn't want to go out on the bottom. He wants to go out on the top. This one, I know he meets a new car, Cruz Ramirez, who she is kind of a technician, and she's kind of his trainer in this movie. So she's trying to get him into shape, and she has a lot of different techniques to get him moving faster, which is a lot different than his old school Hudson Hornet training. But this one I enjoyed it. I took my little nephew to see it in the theaters, and he little boys with cars, Disney Pixar cars, they just love it. So
how old is your nephew?
He is 2.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, but he loves his ka-chow.
I have no idea what that means.
But people who know cars will know that. So so I mean, Disney Pixar, they really can't go wrong, I feel like, and I get so emotional watching those movies, so Cars is no different. But
was it the final one?
Well,
or
they haven't mentioned another sequel, another Cars 4. But
it wasn't like as final as say Toy Story 3.
Well, Toy Story 4.
I know, right?
You never know. They might do a Cars 4 in the future. I mean, it didn't have a finality to it that, you can see it going forward.
Okay.
But it's kind of like Toy Story 3, where they're passing on the baton. Cars 3, he's passing on the baton too. So maybe something else will come in the future.
So we have 2 upcoming movies that are kind of literature related. One of them is Fallen, which is based off of Lauren Kate's best-selling novel, The Fallen Trilogy. And this one is, it almost feels similar to Twilight in a sense. With,
very Twilight-esque.
Did you read those books?
I haven't read.
So basically it's, angels this time instead of vampires, but it's kind of in the school, takes place in the school and all this stuff, and it's about this girl who has like flashbacks of like time way back when and stuff like that. Unfortunately, it was leaked online, I think like a year and a half ago or something like that, which prevented it from being released in theaters right away. So it's going to be released September 8th, that one. And that one stars Jeremy Irvine, Addison Timlin, and Harrison Gilbertson as the 3 main characters in there. And Jolie Richardson is in it. She's a teacher. She was in the Vampire Academy movie. She played the queen in that one. Yeah. So there's that movie. And then there's Kingsman, The Golden Circle. So if you've seen the first Kingsman movie, you know how crazy, riotous, raucous, and great that was. So they're coming out with part 2. And Colin Firth is in it again, right. Even though he was killed off.
Apparently he did not actually die.
I don't know, or maybe he just somehow got resurrected somehow. I don't know. Anyway, he's back with Taron Egerton in the role, and that should be fun too. That one comes out September 22nd.